Can we build the greatest breakfast burrito of all time? Welcome to our epic quest for camping breakfast perfection. Clark here from the Outdoor University, and we are going to start our journey at trying to build the perfect breakfast burrito. Now, I am definitely a breakfast burrito connoisseur. It's my go to at restaurants and at home cooking, and for sure, it is my favorite meal to cook while camping. Today, we're going to be using our Coleman 2 burner propane stove. It's just your standard Coleman stove. You can tell this one's gotten a lot of use from me over the years, and that's because it's my go to cooking stove. Packs down nice in our camping totes. It is reliable and at around $40 to $50, I believe. It's a very affordable stove to get going with camping. Our protein for the day is going to be some pasture-raised bacon straight out of the state of Iowa. The state of Iowa actually has more pigs than people and is the #1 pork producer in the nation, something that us Iowans are proud of. And that's going to provide the backbone for our breakfast burritos. Now, if you take a look at this, this is some incredibly thick bacon. Boy, you only get that kind of bacon when you buy straight from the farmer himself there. We're going to be putting this into our skillet. Nothing fancy about the skillet, and I wouldn't recommend anything fancy if you're just getting going cooking. It's just something you can buy at the store for cheap. If you're car camping, you're not worried about how much things weigh or what they pack down to. Go with something cheap. Go with something reliable in order to get started there. So we're going to cook all of our bacon in this single pan. I hate doing dishes while I'm camping, and so whenever we can reduce the number of pans we're using and dishes in general, I'm all for it. So today's recipe is just with a single pan that we're going to be cooking out of, so I can spare myself some dishwashing duties. As that bacon is sizzling away, going to get the vegetables ready to roll with some red onion and some green peppers getting cut up over on the side there. Now, when that bacon's done cooking, we're actually going to be saving that bacon grease. All right, that is going to be, take a look at that slice of bacon. Dang, look at that. Not too crispy, not too chewy, just the perfect consistency. We're going to be pulling that off. We're going to be cooking the rest of the package. Don't worry, it's not going to all go in the same burrito. It's going to be over the course of several days. God, look at that slab of bacon. That's like a half a plate worth of bacon right there in one piece. But as I was saying, when we're done with this, we're going to be dumping some of that extra grease out because it's going to form a lot. But we're going to keep some of that bacon grease right in our pan so that we can throw our veggies in there. That way the veggies are cooking in that bacon grease. They're going to get a little bit extra flavor. And it means I have less things to pack. I don't have to pack extra butter or oil or those kind of things. Let's work smarter, not harder, and let's use that bacon grease for more than just one purpose. So, gonna get those things nice and cooked. Get them a little bit softer in consistency. Get a little bit of that bacon on there. We're gonna be also adding some green chiles in there, and eventually, once our veggies are cooked down enough, we're gonna go with a dozen eggs. Now, remember, this isn't just one burrito. We're gonna make burritos for the whole weekend here, so about a dozen eggs will be right. Here you can see veggies are nice and brown. They should be a little bit softer. Still some grease in the pan that we'll be able to add our eggs right to this veggie mix. So I'm not going to waste any time scrambling them in a separate bowl. We're going to do everything right in the pan here. We're going to add in a dozen eggs. And after I do that, we're just going to keep it scrambling the whole time. So with scrambled eggs and cooking on propane with pans, the secret is just keep it moving. You're going to have less scalding in your pan. You're going to have an easier cleanup. You're going to get a little better curd on those scrambled eggs as it's mixed in with your veggies there. Add a little salt and pepper to taste as usual, and just keep those eggs moving, and we're almost done here with the prep work. Now, I like to have cheese in my breakfast burritos, and for today we have pepper jack cheese. Problem is I forgot my cheese knife, and so I'm just having to cut off hunks of cheese with my pocket knife. Those are some big hunks, so we got to make sure that they have time to melt down and coagulate with the rest of the eggs. We don't want to have big cold pieces of pepper jack in our breakfast burrito as we're eating those later. So we're gonna let that cook down and get nice and melty, that consistency. You can see that the bacon drippings are just a part of the eggs and the veggies and the cheese now. And so as that's finishing up, I'll actually be putting the burrito shell tortilla, that's the word I'm looking for, on top of the pan. Does two things. It's going to be keeping the extra moisture in, and so our eggs don't get too dry, and it's going to warm up that tortilla shell for me, so I got a nice and soft and chewy tortilla shell for when I go to load up that breakfast burrito. Doesn't take but much. Just get her nice and warm and soft. Our eggs are nice and curded, and we're going to plate this thing up. To plate it up, we're going to go with the backbone of that thick cut bacon right down the middle. And then we're going to be pouring our toppings right over top of that and finishing up with just your basic taco sauce. For our first version of breakfast burrito, not too bad. I think, if anything, the bacon was almost too much. It was definitely the star of the show and just a huge portion. I think next time I'll try to do some more bacon bits type deal so it has a little bit more consistency throughout the burrito. And a little better sauce in there as well. But for our first time, not bad. And like I said, we're going to be fixing up the extra burritos, and we're going to be wrapping them in foil, and then so we can have breakfast for the rest of the trip. I hate doing a bunch of dishes. I hate cooking all the time. So whenever I can cook in bulk, throw some burritos in the cooler, and have a meal ready to go in the future, that is life on Easy Street for me. So anyway, thanks for watching along with the video. Hopefully that got a couple pointers. I would love to hear your pointers down there. A lot of you guys are better cooks than I am. What you think should be on that perfect breakfast burrito, and follow along for some more outdoor tips and tutorials and just adventures in general. Until next time, make sure you get outside and enjoy the great outdoors.